What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mags. Before I get into the match preview, I do want to pay my respects to somebody that passed on in the nufc community recently, and of course, you might have seen it, the passing of course, Newcastle United staff member and also somebody that was very well loved on the Northeast sports scene, and that is, of course, Steve Black. I want to send out my condolences to his family and friends during this very hard time. Of course, he did a lot for the region, for sport, and of course, he was very influential with Newcastle United during Kevin Keegan's entertainers period at the club. Of course, he was a big influence on Johnny Wilkinson's career as well for the Newcastle Falcons and also for England international rugby as well. Of course, he had two spells at Newcastle United with him coming back during the Steve McLaren, of course, period at the club as well. Wasn't as successful as the Kevin Keegan period, but of course he did try his best under, of course, a very hard regime. Condolences, of course, go out to his family and friends, and he will be missed, but he will never be forgotten. Rest in peace, Steve Black. So moving on from, of course, that, let's talk about the upcoming game against Brentford down at the Brentford Community Stadium. Of course, this will be the second successive weekend that Newcastle have been in the capital. And of course, this time our destination is, of course, the Brentford Community Stadium. Now, we've played here before. We played here last season. We lost 1-0 in the League Cup quarter-final here, thanks to the Cabbage putting out a very, very lacklustre squad. And we ended up losing 1-0 through a De Silva goal. That was behind closed doors, of course, so this will be the first time that we have played at the Brentford Community Stadium with a crowd in attendance for the game. It will be the first time that we have played at this game in the Premier League, so that means it will become the 59th different venue that Newcastle have played at in this competition. Of course, all 1,700 away tickets have been sold for the game. Newcastle going into this game looking to extend our unbeaten run in the PL to 7 games. Of course, we're currently on a 6-game unbeaten run. Achieving that would be our best run of form in the top flight since, of course, 2011, which would be absolutely fantastic. Looking at the Brentford side first going into the game, Ivan Toney, of course, ex-Newcastle youngster, and of course a first teamer who did get a little bit of a go in the team, may return from injury to face, of course, us at theirs, and there could be a competitive debut for Christian Eriksen, but I don't think there will be. But for any Brentford fans that are watching, there could be a competitive debut for Christian Eriksen. He's still yet to have that debut for Brentford since coming in, of course, in the January transfer window. But it could be the game against Newcastle where he does get it. We'll have to wait and see, of course, what happens with that. There's Matthias Janssen, Jorgensen, Fosu and Jean Vier are all sidelined due to injury for this game. And of course, since Brentford beat Aston Villa 2-1 at home in early January, Brentford have only taken 1 point from a possible 21. And of course, on home ground this season, Brentford have won 4 times, drew twice, and lost the other 7 times. Looking at, of course, our team, Newcastle United, going into this game, Kieran Trippier, Matt Ritchie and Callum Wilson remain unavailable for the game, while the fitness of Alan St-Maximin looks pretty promising with, of course, pictures. You might have seen it on his social media accounts with him wearing the full Newcastle United kit, doing workouts in, of course, the training ground. So it looks like he could be available for the game against Brentford. this coming Saturday. Having Manquillo though, however, I don't know if he'll be fit for the game. Ryan Fraser could possibly be fit for the game as well. Looking at the referee going into the game, you only need one guess. You probably already know who it is, and it is that man again. The third time this season that we've encountered, of course, with Mike Dean from the Wirral, following on from a 1-1 home draw against Leeds United, and of course that 3-1 loss at Merseyside against Liverpool. We all know the game, that stupid moment where Mike Dean ran right in front of John Joe Shelby, and of course we all know how corrupted that game was, and Mike Dean is in the middle for this game against Brentford, so we'll see how he officiates the game. As we all know with Mike Dean, and as everybody should know with Mike Dean, he always likes to make it about himself. Hopefully, that won't be the case on Saturday, but you know what it's like, it more than likely will be. Hopefully it doesn't affect the game to the point where, we can't pick up a point or 3 in this game against Brentford. On VAR will be Darren England, and of course looking at the results over the years against Brentford, the last time we lost to them in a league game was 1947-48 season. It was a 1-0 loss, well before my time, of course, well before most people's time, of course. But we've only ever lost 3 times to Brentford, and we've won 3 times, so that's not too bad. Of course, the most recent win in the league was 16-17, and that was Dwight Gale and Murphy in a 2-1 win, of course, at theirs. Of course, well before the Brentford Community Stadium. I think it was called Griffin Park, I believe, back at that point when we played them in the 16-17 campaign. Correct us if I'm wrong, of course, down in the comments below. But, looking at it all in all, we're going into this game. All we've got to do is go into the game with the right mentality. Look at what we did against West Ham. We didn't have the best of squads out there, we didn't have the strongest of squad out there, but we still went into that game against a team, that at this moment in time are in the top 6, fighting for a European place, and we managed to come away from that game with a point in the bag. We could have even won that game as well if, things had have just went a little bit more in our favour. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below going into this game against Brentford. What's your score predictions as well? Personally, I would take a 1-0 win for Newcastle and come away from this game with all 3 points in the bag, because if we do get the 3 points in this game against Brentford on Saturday, that will give us exactly, I believe it's 25 points it gives we. That takes we up to 14th place, leapfrogging Everton, Leeds and Brentford, and of course knocking Everton down into 17th, Leeds down into 16th and Brentford down into 15th. Of course, with all the other results as well playing their part in, of course, the games as well. Let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe to 100% Mag, scan that QR code so you can subscribe to the channel for completely free, and it does help the channel to grow and reach a wider audience. We're currently 270 odd subscribers away from reaching that 1k subscriber milestone, which I am trying to get at by the 12th of May this year. So not long now until we are there. So hopefully we can hit that milestone before the 12th of May this year, as that would be absolutely fantastic. Until next time, I'll see you all there, and how about the lads.